Hello and welcome to another update for Millville Public Schools. I'm Tony Trongone, Superintendent, and today we're going to talk about three subjects. Number one will be summer programs that are taking place right now, security upgrades, and then also fall reopening plan. So our summer programs that have started July 5th and they'll end on August 5th. The wraparound program will go to August 20th for the preschool. But we're proud to say we've had a good showing of over 700 students participate in our summer programs, and there's 7 programs in the summer program in total. The services we're providing our students are obviously the academic part, language arts and math, but also we provide the transportation, meals, wraparound before and after school care, and also enrichment activities and social emotional learning activities. Some highlights would be pictured here is a student, Mr. Paulson, with a student in a STEM activity, science, technology, engineering, and math activity. That's more of our enrichment part of our summer program. And then also to the right, you can see we've had the Wetlands Institute visit our schools and provide our students with particular animals and species in our local habitat in southern New Jersey. So the kids are real excited, trying to keep everybody motivated. Again, it started July 5th. It'll end on August 5th. And then we also need to know that it can be a grind. We're all going through this COVID pandemic together, and we know there has to be some form of motivation. So for an example, we provided a treat to our students regarding to having any type of ice cream they wanted one day. And then also pictured here is our preschool program with our youngest learners engaged in their learning. So a lot of good things going on in our summer program. Again, we're really proud of the efforts of our families, our students, our teachers, and our administration for making this happen. And again, this will be 2 years. So this is the first of 2 summers we'll be able to provide this to our students. Security updates. Larry Mulford, who is our district security chief, has created a multi-year plan starting with this upcoming year, 21-22. And so 2 big projects are at Lakeside Middle School and Silver Run Elementary School, where they're going to have a screening vestibule area installed in each, and then also a robust camera system put in each of those schools. And then to add to those schools, the high school already has a robust camera system and a vestibule area, but the other 6 schools, we also put a base package of cameras in there when folks come in entryway, and cameras on the outside right now. But we'll be able to in subsequent years add more cameras to the system. Again, not for surveillance, but for safety purposes. Again, I talked about the hardware. That's going to be an upgrade, make it from analog to digital for our cameras, but also our crisis rooms. So Larry Mulford and Jimmy Groan, there are 2 leaders in our security department, where they're going to have a screening of all the cameras throughout the whole district to see what's going on in the district, again, for bringing back any type of incident, making sure our kids are safe, but also the fact that if there is, God forbid, a crisis, as educators, obviously we're the first to report it and then take action. But when we work with first responders and the police, we have to defer to them and they take over the scene. So you would think that I would want to get on the scene and get it and then help, but I'm actually hindering the process. So we're told to get out of the way, but you can help us with communication and give us information. So that would be off-site at Culver, and so we have a crisis room where we can communicate to obviously our families about what's going on, to our staff about whatever's happening with the crisis. So that's being built this summer also. So pictured here are our security vestibules. So I want to emphasize there's no metal detectors or wanding going on here. When our students walk into our schools, it'll be just as inviting with the doors open. Obviously, there'll be adults there to supervise the arrival and departure of our students like they would any other time. It's when the school is in session and those doors are locked, but now we added another layer to where if we have a visitor, that visitor gets led into the first door. The security guard screens that visitor, and then for the purpose of their visit, and then they're allowed in the second set of doors into wherever they have to do their business. This is not a new technology in security. Schools have been putting these in place at least 9 years ago after the incident at Sandy Hook. So the board is really pressing to have this done in all of our schools, and we're working as quickly as possible to have that attained in all of our schools within the next 3 years. And finally, our fall reopening plan. And so finally, the New Jersey Department of Health with the New Jersey Department of Education worked together to come up with a document for school districts to follow. And so we have 3 phases that we're going to go through in Millville Public Schools. The first phase is looking at that document and disseminating it to our district folks, district level folks, and also digesting all the information. And what does that mean? What's it going to look like in September? Looking at food services, transportation, as well as what's going to happen in the classroom. And our phase 2 was a week later, where we met with principals and talked about what does it mean at the building level. And then phase 3 will be you getting feedback from the community in regard to that plan. So stay tuned for more information regarding that plan. But there are 3 open issues. Number 1 would be mask wearing. Right now, our summer programs, mask wearing is optional. Number 2 are meals, how we're going to facilitate meals following the guidelines in September, because there's a 3-foot guideline for one criteria, and then there could be a 6-foot criteria in the plan. So we're building contingency plans for feeding the kids every day for breakfast and for lunch. And then finally, the virtual option, which Governor Murphy eliminated. So parents cannot request a virtual option as of this date, July 28th, in regard to requesting their child receive instruction in a virtual modality. And so stay tuned for any type of changes, but those are the guidelines as of today. So again, stay tuned. We'll have a new video every week and providing you with information. That being said, we want to have that communication out to you and then a feedback loop back to us from you. So all our social media platforms, please feel free to provide us with your feedback on there. But also, if you want to communicate via email, listed there would be mpsinfo@millville.org, and we'll be able to get back to you as soon as we can. Again, this is Tony Trongone, Superintendent Millville Public Schools, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next week. Go Bolts.